Welcome back to TheChowTimePod. It's your host, Red. That video today from Nate the Lawyer. And saved after video shows that she was the aggressor and she was the one that was begging for sex. Women. Please subscribe down below. I really appreciate that. Let's get a ciao. It's ciao time.
Now to the surveillance video that helped get a college student out of charges. Tonight you're going to see that video and you're going to hear from the young man at the center of a case raising fresh questions about campus drinking culture and what exactly constitutes consent.
It's the surveillance footage that holds the key to clearing this college student of.
I'm very grateful for these surveillance tapes.
Now, this guy was about to face a life sentence for assault, but thank
Life sentence? My jeez.
God for the videotape. All right, people, so you may be feeling like we're having deja vu because we've covered a very similar story to this recently in
I thought it was very similar as soon as I saw it.
the case of Saif Khan versus Yale University. Now, most people thought that was a one-off event because he was found not guilty by a jury of his peers in record time, and the school, not liking the jury's verdict, found him guilty on their own and expelled him from the school, which he is now suing.
And at Yale University, the
I really hope he gets millions upon millions upon millions.
campus was rocked when a student was charged with there. Another female student said that this individual attacked her in her dorm room on Halloween night in 2015. The accused, Saif Khan, said that the encounter was consensual, and he was eventually acquitted in court. But that didn't matter. Yale still kicked him out, expelled him. An allegation was all it took.
Now, one thing I want to mention about this story is how the media is actually not covering it, or I'd say the liberal side of the media. Check this out. On Ground News, it's able to show you how this story in particular is being covered by both the liberal media and the conservative media. And as you can see, the liberal media is essentially ignoring this story.
Oh, wow. I did not realize that, but it makes sense. I
Now,
never
this
heard about
case
it.
can fundamentally change how sexual assaults are handled on college campuses, but yet no one on the liberal media side has even mentioned it. Now, this is why I love Ground News, because it helps me see those stories that either the left-wing media doesn't want to report on or the right-wing media doesn't want to report on. Now, I got a great deal for you. Go to ground.news/Nate.
If you guys are into news, let me move this up real quick. Yeah, check it out. I think it sounds like a good resource.
That's ground.news/Nate. And you can subscribe to my link and get 40% off the Vantage plan with Ground News. That gives you everything. Now, if you want to check out Ground News, don't forget, hit the QR code that is here on the screen, link in the description or in the pinned comment. Now, back to the video. Now, in doing research for the Khan video, we found that this thing was happening all over the country, where young men were being accused of the most horrible, heinous crimes against women, being found not guilty, and the school still expelling them because believe all women. And the only thing that saved these guys from long prison sentences was the videotape. Now, to help me tell this story, I brought in a friend of mine, Chandler Remington, from the YouTube channel Remy Legal. She also has a great video where she interviewed Saif Khan on her channel. So, Remy, let us know what's going on.
This is 20-year-old Arman Karim Premji. He's a student at USC, and he was born in Mumbai, Maharashtra, India. He attended the University of Southern California to pursue a bachelor's degree in business administration. He joined Kappa Sigma fraternity at USC. Premji went to a local bar and started hanging out with some friends, and he met 19-year-old fellow student, Arshia.
They met at this club near campus, but Arman says his accuser was the aggressor, coming on to him the moment she saw him.
She put her arms around my neck. She started kissing me.
Right away.
Within 2 minutes of us meeting for the first time.
See, guys, when women start doing shit like that, it's a warning sign. Best to stay away.
He says she wanted to leave the club and have sex with him. We blurred her face to protect her identity.
Why? When she's the accuser that is lying. What are we protecting? What are we protecting?
So eventually, Premji goes back to her place, they have sex, and then this happens.
According to the police report, the young woman's roommates walked into the dorm room shortly after 1 in the morning and witnessed the couple having sex in the common living room. But roughly an hour later, the roommates walked out of their rooms to see the woman lying nude and passed out.
After we were done having sex, I went to use the restroom, and when I came back out, the roommates looked at me. They seemed, very upset by the fact that and I had just had sex in the living room.
Her roommates told police Premji said, "We were wasted and she was all over me." According to the police report, after Premji left, the roommates tried to wake her up, but couldn't. When the young woman finally woke up at the hospital, she remembered nothing, asking investigating officers in tears how someone could have done this to her. Premji was arrested and charged with by use of drugs and sexual penetration by a foreign object.
Use of drugs?
Premji was released on $200,000 bail.
Poor man. Poor young gentleman.
All along, he said the encounter was consensual.
Now, if you're watching this video and you've been injured in an accident, me and my team may be able to help you. Call me at 571-NATE-LAW. That's 571-NATE-LAW. We handle everything from car accidents to cases involving the aqueous film-forming foam. That's the foam that firefighters use to put out chemical fires, but it's also been linked to some serious health issues like cancer. Now, you can give us a call at 571-NATE-LAW. That's 571-NATE-LAW, or you can visit the website.
Again, I usually don't let him put the ads in there, but Nate's awesome, and he's advertising himself, his own law firm. More power to you, Nate.
At NateTheLawyer.com. That's NateTheLawyer.com. Remember, the advice is free, the consultation is free, and we don't get paid unless you win your case. Now, let's get back to the video. So now, what do? Both people have been drinking, both people are probably drunk, and now they have sex. So why would the police just presumptively charge the male in this situation over the female? Well, Chandler explains.
So I went through the California public university system, and I took some courses in which they taught us, if you are the aggressor, if you are the initiator of sexual contact, when both individuals are drunk, then you will be charged with a crime.
Oh, how the tables have turned. But yet, I'm sure she didn't get charged with shit.
Essentially.
So, as you just heard, it really depends on if police can determine who was the aggressor in this particular incident. And because in the vast majority of these assault cases, it's the male that's the aggressor, police presumptively believe that it's the male who's the aggressor. So now, Premji was charged, and he was looking at some real serious time in prison. But, as I keep saying, thank God for the videotape. Because soon as the judge got his eyes on that videotape, it told a different story. Premji wasn't the aggressor, it was actually the 19-year-old female.
It happens all too often. Two college students drinking too much and...
Shoutouts to the fucking judge, too. Most judges would probably still side with the woman just because she's a 19-year-old. Roses and sunshine.
And heading off to have sex.
We were just drinking, having a good time.
But was the woman in this case, a 19-year-old University of Southern California student, too drunk to give consent? This surveillance video appears to show her making the first move at the college bar Banditos.
The video shows Premji and a female student kissing in the bar's back corner, her arms around his neck.
It does look like he's just like this, and then she's dragging him in and kissing on him.
Premji said she kept pulling him closer, and after several minutes, she led him by the hand out of the bar.
Looks like it.
Surveillance footage outside shows her making a sexual gesture to her friend behind Armand's back.
She made a gesture to her friend of her plans to have intercourse with me that night.
Premji says they had both been drinking. The two are seen leaving in an Uber before arriving to the girls' dorm room. Security video there shows the alleged victim stopping to sign him in.
So in a Facebook message to Premji a day later, the accuser...
She signed him in. Just saying.
...says she was told she was with him the Friday before that and that we hooked up, although she didn't use the words hooked up. She goes on to say that she doesn't remember because she was very obviously out of it.
So then Premji and his attorneys got that video and presented it to the judge. And the judge wrote a scathing opinion, chastising the prosecutors.
My judge.
So a court transcript from a hearing shows Judge Michael Pastor telling prosecutors they couldn't even meet their minimal pretrial burden of reasonable suspicion against Premji in light of the video evidence. I looked at the totality of the evidence in this case, not any individual aspect of evidence, he said. And as I evaluate the totality of evidence from the initial encounter between Arshia, the accuser, and the defendant, Mr. Premji, I believe that there was consent and that there remained consent throughout the unfortunate incidents in this case. There is no indication of any withdrawal of consent. There is a very strong indication that the alleged victim in this case was the initiator of any conduct between the defendant and the alleged victim. One can speculate, one can surmise, but that is not the kind of evidence upon which I rely and which...
Isn't it crazy, guys? Women wanting you, hugging on you, flirting with you, and initiating sex with you, and you're still gonna get in trouble for this shit? Like, we're just fucked.
I do not find to be convincing. I base my decision on the underlying direct and circumstantial evidence and credibility issues.
Video surveillance cameras are everywhere, it seems, these days, and one USC college student is very grateful that they are. Based on that footage, he's been acquitted in a case that could have landed him in jail. As Jim Murray reports, the judge saw the video and decided that, in fact, the woman who called herself a victim was the initiator of a sexual encounter.
We still don't know her name. We only got that one bit of her name. Her face is still blurred out. Who's the victim? I thought you said the aggressor of the incident is the aggressor. Whoever initiated it, right? She initiated it. Why isn't she going to trial or whatever it is?
Now, even though the judge threw it out based on there not being enough evidence, USC thought differently. In March 2018, USC's Office of Equity and Diversity found Premji guilty anyway.
Stupid freaking department ever.
Expelled him after he was cleared of the charge by a criminal court judge. He had 6 credits left to graduate.
Wow.
So Premji sued US.
The man pretty much paid for his full college education already. And then you're going to kick him out and not give him a degree because you wanted to? You fucks.
And USC was on the heels of losing the case and decided to reinstate Premji so he can get his degree.
Oh, fuck no. I would have not accepted that, Premji. I would have been like, you know what? I don't want a fucking degree from your goddamn school. I want millions of dollars.
Pay some undisclosed amount. Now, if this sounds familiar, this is the same exact thing that happened 5 or 6 years later in the Khan case.
So why does this keep happening? For the last 8 years, Saif Khan has also been fighting for justice. He was a senior at Yale when he had a consensual encounter with a student who later accused him. He was criminally charged, but later acquitted. Despite the courts proving his innocence, Yale's Title IX office kicked him out of the university, and he is currently suing them for $110 million.
Now, Premji was eventually allowed to graduate from USC and has gone on with...
Shit. I'd be ashamed to have that degree in my fucking back pocket. I just ripped that degree up. This school fucking sucks.
His life. Now, I want to thank my special guest, Chandler Remington from the channel Remy Legal. Here is how you find Chandler.
So for those of you who are interested in this case and the case against Saif Khan at Yale University, I did an interview with him on my channel, and you can go check that out at Remy Legal on YouTube. You can also find me on X under the same name.
Now, my question to you. Should Premji be able to sue somebody for some compensation here? Don't forget he was locked up, accused of some heinous crimes, and name postered all over town, claiming that he blanked someone. Come to find out, that wasn't the case. Now, if you're listening to my voice right now, don't forget to like, subscribe, do like great YouTube.
Shout out to Nate the Lawyer. I love covering these types of stories, and I hate them at the same time because it just enrages me. But it's good stories for lessons for you guys. Yeah, be wary of women, especially even ones that want you. Why? Because they can change their minds later. Please subscribe down below. I really appreciate that. I'll see you guys next time. Ciao.